Elisabetta Brunella from the Berlinale. Mediasalles has just presented its figures, its statistics for cinema admissions in 2018 in Europe. We have been surveying 36 countries, and unfortunately 2018 was not a very good year for several countries. In general, there was a decrease of about 3.9%, and especially among the 6 leading countries of Europe, only the UK had a result with a positive sign. The UK gained 3.7% spectators.
Good for them, they'll need it with the Brexit.
Yeah, that's good for them. But, for the other countries, the 5 other leading countries from France to Russia to Germany to Spain to Italy, the results were not so positive, and in some cases, like for instance Germany, where there was quite a serious decrease. But if the general trend was a decrease, there were also some countries for which 2018 was a very good year or even an exceptional one. For instance, 3 countries in North Europe like Iceland, Denmark or Norway had a very great 2018, and we can certainly find an explanation for this by looking at the figures of the domestic films. In fact, those countries had a certain number of very attractive domestic movies that brought to the cinemas an important percentage of spectators. So this shows again that domestic movies are very, very important to bring to cinemas audiences that perhaps don't like so much American blockbusters. This was also the case of Poland. That was really an exceptional year for Poland that almost hit the 60 million threshold of spectators, and that's especially thanks to Polish movies, and especially thanks to clergy that had a very special success because its share of admissions was 8.7, which is really a huge success. So this is a message that goes also to the institutions. It's very, very important for a healthy cinema exhibition sector to be able to count on good domestic movies, because, as I said before, this is a way to bring to cinemas segments of audiences that perhaps don't like to go and see mainstream movies.
Good. I want to share some exclusive news for you from our filmfestivals.com research, sharing with our audience the fact that the audience for Germany in 2019 will be totally exceptional. The number of admissions will raise by about 10%, which is better than the -9 they had last year. Just on looking at the numbers of people that are walking here, we are here in the theater, and all these people you saw walking by were spectators buying tickets. So German cinema looks good. It seems to be on the increase.
Yeah, well, if we can judge from all this movement of people, yes, we can have good hopes.
Of course, that's a joke, but let's. If we build it, they will come. So let's believe that.
Let's say it's a joke, but on the other side, we can also recognize that very often, if we look at a long period of time in cinema going, we can see that there is a kind of a cycle. So from time to time, there is what the British call hiccup, which means, a sudden decrease that usually stays isolated compared then to the next years. So what we can actually wish is that the result of 2018 is it's this kind of hiccup. Also because 2017 was definitely a very good year, so in a certain sense we could explain this decrease, at least at the moment, as such a kind of a temporary phenomenon.
Yeah, and of course, these statistics are aggregation of tickets sold for films that change. Every film is a prototype, and there's no prediction of what can be in the head of the new talent, the new directors, and what's going to come in 2019 or compared to 2018. It's a very difficult thing to evaluate how the quality of the movie will be this year, and that's what determines in the end the figures. Because I believe the industry is being so mature, people know how to market their film. So if the figures decline, you were mentioning earlier that Germany had a bad year. There were a couple of factors like the summer, the World Cup, and also maybe lack of films, no?
Yeah.
That's what you said.
Many people say that cinema going is just product driven. I believe that this explanation is a little bit too simple, because we cannot deny that, for instance, this summer was a very special summer from the point of view of climate, and definitely the high temperatures made people choose for a very long period of time outdoor activities during their free time, more than perhaps going to the cinema. So definitely this is an external factor that affected in some countries cinema going. Or, for instance, also the World Cup for football was another external factor that had a certain influence. So I would imagine that in the next months, when we can collect also more complete and final figures, it will be possible to better analyze the reasons that are behind this general trend to decrease, but also, as we said before, some cases of exceptional results. I believe that we have to take into consideration both of them, because global figures are important, but it's also very important to analyze the specific markets, because as we have said many times, each country has its own characteristics.
This one didn't like the movie, I think.
No. Or he wanted to stay longer.
Maybe he's going.
Yeah.
So what I take is it's probably a hiccup and things are going okay, and let's be optimistic.
Well, I mean, it could be. I mean, this is one of the possibilities. I'd like to add, for instance, that 2018 was in the UK a very good year in general, a record year, the best result after 1970, but it was also a very good year for the results of added content, because there the increase was so high, it was more than 30% compared to 2017. So, as you know, we at Mediasalles like to be pioneers, and we are focusing part of our activity on added content and the potential that added content represents for cinemas. We call it added content. We know that many people call it alternative content or event cinema. We prefer to say added content because we believe that in all these products, there is a variety of them, there is an added value both for the cinema owners and in general the industry and for the spectators. So we definitely believe that for a certain type of cinema that really gives a lot of importance to quality, to arts, to cultural values, added content can really be a very important factor.
One question about the UK. Would you have data about the type of content? Are we talking more football seen in the theaters or concerts?
No.
Or?
No, we're talking, well, when we talk about the UK, we see that the highest grossing adult content productions usually concern live theater
Opera?
and, well, I would say more popular music.
Oh, yeah.
So live concerts of contemporary music groups. That is really something specific to the UK together with live theater. But we have statistics for everything almost, but if we look at the 3 top productions, again, in the field of adult content, we see that each country has its own types, its own genre. So there are countries, as I said before, like the UK that like very much live theater, and there are other countries where opera is number 1, and there are other countries where art-based films are really a hit. So this proves, the enormous flexibility of the adult content offer to cater for different needs. So we believe that this is also another plus, talking about adult content, that it's really very flexible in a certain sense. You can find different products for different audiences.
Well, thank you very much, Elisabetta. This is a very, very nice place here, an interesting cinema.
Yeah, this is
pretty crowded though. Sorry for the noise, but
yeah, this is a very interesting cinema, and it has a very difficult name, Hakesche Kinos, and this was also a place where yesterday we had a new initiative, together with the Art House Association in Germany. They always organize the so-called Berlinale screenings, where they present new films that will be distributed in the coming months in cinemas, and they organize special screenings for their members. And yesterday, for the first time, we had an event on adult content, because we at Mediasalles and also the Art House Association in Germany believes that this could be a tremendous opportunity for those cinemas that like quality. And I was talking just a minute ago to an exhibitor here in the south of Germany, and he says that nowadays 10% of the admissions of his cinema come from adult content. So we believe that there is a tremendous potential. Unfortunately, many people just look at global figures. So when you say that adult content represents 2.5 of total admissions, they say, well, that's negligible. But in fact, it depends on the type of cinemas,
Yeah, of course.
For some cinemas, this type of product can really be an added opportunity to have full houses also on weekdays.
well, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of Berlinale and see you soon and next year at Oxymoron, this fabulous place where you're hosting all the professionals.
Okay.
Thank you.